Innovators, builders, and inventors that define San Francisco. The San Francisco Historical Society exists to uncover, preserve, and present in engaging ways the colorful and diverse history of our city from its earliest days to the present. As a member, you'll receive the Argonaut, an award-winning publication that has provided in-depth historical accounts for over 30 years. And the Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
What road problems are you guys talking about? I don't see one. All I see is a dub for Dub Nation. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Pregame Show. I am your host, Joe Spadoni. Warriors, 123. Kings, 116. Warriors take a 3-2 series lead. Heading into a pivotal Game 6, do or die for Sacramento now. Heading back to Chase Center. That's going to be a 5 o'clock tip. So all that traffic and everything, if you're going to that game tomorrow, be sure to get off early. Do whatever you got to do. You got to get there or be square, because it's going to be a party. I think it's going to wrap up tomorrow. I think the Kings needed to win that game last night to win this series. I thought they needed to win Game 4, for being completely honest, or Game 3. They couldn't go up 3-1. They let the Warriors linger. Shout out the Cranberries. Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? And the Kings did, and they're going to pay for it. Because Draymond Green had a vintage Draymond Green performance. Andrew Wiggins had a vintage Andrew Wiggins playoff performance. Stephen Curry was that dude. Klay Thompson was that dude. And ultimately, it was those guys that closed it out for the Golden State Warriors. 888-957-9570 is the number. And as always, you can call or text it on the Comcast Business text line. Twitch and YouTube, good morning. We are up and running there. Just search 95.7 The Game in the search bar. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And be sure to download the Odyssey app. Favorite 95.7 The Game. Take us everywhere you go. You can have all your Warriors coverage and Warriors games all throughout the postseason right there on that app. 888-957-9570. We could forget the road woes now, right? Right? I think that's the thing of the past after this last win. In the playoffs, it is just different. It's just different. And the Warriors have been there and the Kings haven't. And that's ultimately what it's going to come down to, experience. You saw the experienced guys on the Warriors take over last night. Wiggins, Steph, Draymond Green? Are you kidding me? Vintage Dre? We're getting scoring from Draymond Green? Then it's night-night. If Dre's going to drop 21 points on 8 of 10 from the floor, off the bench, by the way, they went off the bench again. Poole in the starting lineup didn't really do much offensively. He had a key bucket late, but 10 points for Jordan Poole. 21 for Draymond off the bench. Are you kidding me? Draymond. And, I got to play some Draymond highlights now. When's the last time I was playing Draymond Green scoring highlights this early in the morning? Good morning to all of you on YouTube chiming in. Luis Roberson, Sad Jose fan, hashtag Fisher out. Love that hashtag. Renell, Ken C, James, all y'all. Appreciate all you chiming in so early. If you're just getting off work, just getting ready for work, appreciate all of you tapping in, getting ready for school, anything you're ready to do. It's going to be a hot one today, folks. Be prepared to go to the beach, do what you got to do, get out of the office early. It's going to be toasty out there. It was already in the 80s at my place in Oakland in the East Bay. So get that sunscreen on if you need it, or if you want to get tan, just do it in a safe manner. It's going to be hot out there. It's going to be hot today, and I looked at the forecast as I do a quick diatribe here. It's going to be like thunderstorms next week. What the hell is going on? What kind of weather is this? Hot this week, teasing us for summer, and then we're going to have another atmospheric river. Can't handle it. Cannot handle it. Ken C on the YouTube chat. I expect Bonte and Shasky to be wearing Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses all day. You can expect Bonte Hill to do that. I don't know about Joe if he owns a pair of Dolce & Gabbana. Joe seems like more of an Oakley guy. I don't think I've ever seen Joe wear glasses or sunglasses of any kind. Maybe on the golf course, maybe once or twice. But he's not a Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. Curry, 900 with the hearts. Loon Dog, cleaning the boards. That's from Luis Roberson. And Cowboy, you're right on the YouTube chat. Shaq did give credit to Curry's Kareem skyhook. And it was unbelievable. Just Stephen Curry, what this man is able to do in his conditioning, I think it's slept on. And I think LeBron James has kind of, created this mystique. It's like, well, if LeBron could do it at 38 and 39, and, like he's just a freak. No, Curry's doing the same thing. I know he's not that old. He's 35, though. Like, he's not supposed to be this conditioned, this athletic still, this quick, and this skilled at that age. You're supposed to wear down. At least that's what we've seen in the past. Maybe the future is. These guys play into their older age. Maybe Tom Brady is inspiring guys like this. I know Steph has mentioned him in the past. But it is just unbelievable how this guy can stay conditioned the way he is, put the team on his back in must-win situations. And I know technically it wasn't a must-win situation, but you felt pretty damn good about your chances of winning that series if you went into Sacramento like you did last night and come away with the win. Again, 123-116, Warriors win. They go up 3-2 in this series, heading back to Chase Center tomorrow for a 5 p.m. tip matchup against the Kings. And the Kings, they just went cold. After that first quarter, they were 8 of 11 from 3. They were shooting the hell out of the ball from beyond the arc. And then the Warriors just hanging around, kept driving to the rack, and getting success there. The Kings can't defend at the point of attack down there. They just can't. Sabonis, that guy. The stat line is going to look better than it was. 21 points, 9 of 15. He had some buckets late, but he's just not a factor this series. And the Warriors, to all their credit, have just neutralized the hell out of him. De'Aaron Fox, there was a caller that called in. If the Kings were going to win that and Fox goes off, he was going to call it the finger game. Not going to touch that. But Fox, 24 points, it bothered him. 9 of 25. Like, he started off so hot, and we're like, maybe that finger wasn't a problem. But overall, 9 of 25, 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. You're going to live with that if you're the Warriors. Who else is going to step up? Malik Monk, he did. 21 points for him, but again, Herter, another bad game. Barnes, he was clanking some. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. 13 points, 3 of 6. He was getting down to the rack. But who else was going to step up? Because for the Warriors, that was the difference. Their big guy on the bench, who came off the bench again for the second straight game, Draymond Green, did it. And here's some of Dre's offensive highlights.
Looney surveys. Back to Draymond, now to Curry. Curry off a pick. Back to Draymond. 5 on the clock. Draymond, little fadeaway jumper, and he rattled it home. He's got 21 off the bench.
The fadeaway jumper for Draymond Green. And that was the great Tim Roy, obviously, from right here on 95.7 The Game. Your home for all of Golden State Warriors basketball. 888-957-9570. 415 with an interesting thought. I didn't even think about this, but it makes sense now that you think about it. Comcast Business text line. Do you think Fox's finger flared up in the second half? It absolutely could be the case. I know he's not going to mention it or anything like that. He talked about it before the game at shoot around. We played the sound right here on the pregame show of, it's just a pain tolerance thing. It can't get any worse unless I hit it and stuff like that. But I was going through the motions, and if you saw me on YouTube, I was like, pretend handling a basketball. I was like, how can you not hit it on a basketball or on a person, or every single time? And his game is so predicated on dribble, drive, penetration, trying to blow past people. You're going to get knocked. You're going to get bumped. How could your hand not get hit constantly, right? So it absolutely could have been a factor. Early on, it looked like it was not going to be a factor at all. But overall, you can blame it on the finger, or you could, hat tip to the Warriors defense at times. They were stifling down the stretch there. And credit to the Kings. I will give them credit, because So many times in these series, they could have folded. They could have just been like, you know what? We can't hang. We'll pack our bags up. No, they fought. It was a 1-point game late. They keep on scratching and clawing. This is not a mentally weak team at all. Mike Brown has these guys believing, and you want to put that belief to rest tomorrow if you're the Golden State Warriors. We're going to hear from Steve Kerr, Curry, Draymond, all of them as this show goes on. Again, if you would like to get involved, the number 888-957-9570. Ashley Murphy, 1985, addressed that the Kings had 0 foul calls in the fourth quarter. NBA is trying to drag them across the finish line. Monk's a flopper. It's embarrassing. You know, that's just today's NBA, so I'm not really going to get that mad at all these teams flopping and stuff like that. There's egregious ones like Sabonis early on in that game when something didn't go his way. He just looks to the ref like, huh? Get back on defense. Like, that's what I'm noticing. It is funny. I have a 3.5-year-old. Shout out Young Benjamin. He does imitate the flops, which is hilarious. The kids nowadays, they see what these players are doing. He literally drives to the rack in our kitchen. We have a little hoop on the door in the kitchen. And he drives, falls over, and then tosses up. I was like, oh my God. There's no foul calls in the kitchen, son. I'm just trying to make some baked rigatoni. For the love of God, stop flopping. But that's where he's learning it from, to your point. Appreciate you chiming in, Ashley. Here's Steve Kerr talking about Draymond Green's performance after the game last night.
Draymond was amazing, especially down the stretch, calling him Draymond Nowitzki after the fadeaway. It was maybe the biggest shot of the game. That and Wiggs hit a fadeaway as well. Those two shots probably were the two that stood out. Obviously, Steph and Clay. There were a lot of big shots made in the game, but those two stand out to me when Sacramento played really good defense and those guys knocked down shots at key times.
Here's more from Steve Kerr and asked about keeping that same lineup in the closing minutes.
We're going to ride our guys. That's our best lineup, best two-way lineup. Loon just gets every rebound, and so what we give up in spacing, we gain in offensive rebounding and defense, and so that's our lineup. And both Dre and Loon are so good at setting screens and recognizing how to get our other guys open. So I think that's why that lineup works offensively. But yeah, we were going to stay with them, and they got the job done.
They got the job done, and how am I bearing the lead here, folks? Not 11 minutes in. How dare me? I'm seeing it from the text line. I'm seeing it from the YouTube chat. Kevon Looney. 22 boards? 4 points? This guy is Dennis Rodman. You kidding me? 7 offensive rebounds? He's just something else. When he gets... I have not seen a guy that... It does seem like a magnet is attached to his hands, whatever it is. He just finds and has an instinct for offensive rebounds that I haven't seen in quite some time, I should say. Not since. And Bob Myers, president of basketball operations, he actually talked to Steiny and Guru yesterday, as he does every other week on the executive show. But he mentioned it in the past. I believe it was our own Evan Giddings of the 415ers podcast. Also catch him on the weekends occasionally. Shout out E-Dog. I think he's down in San Diego. Dude, it's going to be nice and toasty down there. Get a nice tan, Evan, while you're down there. But he asked Kevon Looney, he was like, Bob Myers, he once compared you to Dennis Rodman. How do you feel about that, Kevon? And Kevon was like, seriously? It's freaking awesome. 22 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 points for Loon Dog. He is something else, man. And that is grit. That is grind. That is effort. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the longest. Sabonis has every measurable up against him, but you know what? His craft. He works at what he does. He has an instinct. And when you play on championship level rosters, when you have the championship rings and medal that he does, it makes a difference in the playoffs when you're going up against these guys that don't have that experience. Yeah, Sabonis might be an all-star, but in this series, who's looked like the all-star? Looney or Sabonis? It's Kevon Looney. It's not even close. Yeah, the points, I don't care about that. He's not there to score. Not when you have Wiggins dropping 20, Curry dropping 31, and Klay Thompson dropping 25. It's Loon Dog clean up the glass. It's unbelievable. Good morning, Morali, KM Johnson, Jay Lorenzano. Appreciate all y'all. No one sees the floor better than Dre. Great vision and spacing. Totally agree. And here's Draymond Green after the game talking about, asked if he He enjoys being considered a quote-unquote villain. Let's take a listen.
No, I just be myself. I don't go chasing after some villain title. Being a villain is no fun. It's not enjoyable, but I'm also never ducking any smoke. So whether that's with a player, whether that's with a fan or a fan base, it is what it is. And you got to take the good with the bad. My thought coming in tonight was like, it was great to play in game 4 and the cheers that I got when I came in the game for missing that game. Super special. On the flip side of that, if you're going to bask in that and appreciate that, then you have to appreciate the other side as well. We pride ourselves on not being front runners. So I knew for me, I couldn't love and appreciate the love and cheers that I got at Chase and then come out here and fold because everybody's booing me from the time I came in the game. You got to take the good with the bad. And so that was my mindset coming in. I knew these fans would be at me from the time I went in. And to be honest with you, I barely heard them. I was just dialed in on the task at hand and focused. And I wanted to make sure I didn't give them any of my energy tonight. I didn't give any of my energy to them. Anything other than winning this basketball game, I wanted to focus all my energy towards that. So for majority of a couple times I noticed them, but for the majority of the game, I didn't even hear them. I was just dialed in on the task at hand.
He was dialed into the task at hand. And listen, he may say he doesn't enjoy being the villain, but it's always fun being the villain, isn't it? Leaning into that. Like, look at kids. Again, I'm going to reference my young Benjamin. He's 3.5. You know what his favorite character in Star Wars is? It's not Luke Skywalker. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not Rey or any of those. It's Darth freaking Vader. Because he's a badass. He has a red lightsaber and he's big and tall. And he's a robot, basically. People love the villains. And I love the boos. The boos are sometimes better than the cheers. Silencing a crowd, it's got to be one of the greatest feelings as a professional athlete. It's got to be. From the 415 on the Comcast business text line. Shout out Baked Rigatoni. Absolutely. Got to get those whole chunks of tomatoes in there. Get your onions, your garlic, your pork sausage, your beef. Oh, I'm hungry now for it at 5:16 a.m. 415. Isn't it ironic? Shout out Lance Morissette. Dubs trying to find a big man all these years, and it's right under their nose. Took the words out of my mouth. Didn't even know you were going to finish with shout out Alanis Morissette. Sorry to steal your thunder there. 415 on the Comcast business text line. 888-957-9570. It is funny. Now, would you still like to have a James Wiseman or someone like that, someone big and tall and athletic? Yes. But Loon Dog, Kevon Windex Looney, as a schlep rock down in San Jose, dubbed him. He just goes so unnoticed at times. But I'm starting to think that each and every game that he does this, and he's in double figures in the rebound portion, he's getting the 15 boards, he's getting the 7 offensive rebounds. Like, he's no longer underrated. At least not here in the Bay. No one underrates Kevon Looney here in the Bay Area. We love him. That guy, if he ends up getting all these rings, hell, put him out there. Give him a statue. Can you imagine a statue with him? He has like some Windex or whatever cleaning product. He has a rag in one hand, and he's just cleaning the boards. A backboard there right in the middle of Thrive City. That'd be pretty freaking sick. Get up on a ladder, take a picture with him. Thumbs up. 888-957-9570. Kevon Looney's freaking awesome, man. Love that guy. Morning, Nicole Diaz chiming in on the YouTube chat. Again, we are up and streaming on YouTube and Twitch. If you want to follow us that way, download the Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game, all of that. Some other news and notes from around the league last night. Bucks. Yeah. The number 1 seed Bucks, night. 128-126 in overtime. The Miami Heat vanquished the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're going to play some sound from Giannis Antetokounmpo here in a second. He had this amazing post-game rant that I think, yes, even on a Warriors Thursday win reaction, we will play some of this sound. It is that good. Giannis talking about if his season was a quote-unquote failure, as from a reporter. So we're going to get into that. Very interesting words and thoughts from Antetokounmpo there as the Milwaukee Bucks are out in the first round. Huge upset there. And the first play-in team to win a first-round series ever since the play-in game has been installed. The Miami Heat taking out the Milwaukee Bucks. The Miami Heat now face the New York Knicks, who defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. I had to catch my breath there for a second. 106-95. Julius Randle leaving the game, though, with an ankle injury. And I'm sure if you're a Knicks fan, you're hoping at least that Bucks Heat series would go longer just to see what that ankle's going to be like for Julius Randle. They're going to reevaluate him today. Didn't look good. He didn't come back to the game, but that first game is now scheduled for 1 o'clock on Sunday. I think that 1 o'clock Eastern, maybe 10 o'clock Pacific time. Miami Heat at the New York Knicks. And the winner of that series is going to face either Celtics, maybe the Hawks. Sixers already punched their ticket. So a lot of interesting layers taking shape here. And listen, as it pertains to the Golden State Warriors, I told you when Wiggins came back, I have them penciled into the NBA Finals. And for a team like the Milwaukee Bucks to get knocked out that early, not trying to look ahead here, folks. Not trying to look ahead. Still got a lot of series left, a lot of games left. Hell, you got to get out of the first round first. I get it. Just saying. Getting a guy like Giannis out of the way and a long team like that couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. Here's Giannis Antetokounmpo after the game being asked if his season was a failure.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay, do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. You know, and if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it. You know, Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? No, I don't think so. Okay, exactly. So why are you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful. Some days you're not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball. You know, and hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures? No, it was not. It was steps to it, you know, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one. You know, sorry that I didn't want to make it personal because you asked me the same question last year, and last year I was in the right mind space to answer the question back.
Giannis Antetokounmpo there, talking about if his season was a failure, getting knocked out in the first round. You know, it is a very unique, and Giannis obviously being a Euro and being from Greece and all that, it is a very uniquely American mindset. If you compare it to whatever, Premier League or any of the large soccer leagues, La Liga, Ligue 1, Serie A, all those big ones, Champions League, what have you. It's very uniquely American to say, you know, if I didn't win the championship, it's a failure. That's our mindset. As Americans, we expect to win. We want to be the best at anything, any sport. That is part of our culture and DNA. It's not like that in other countries. It's not. It's very uniquely American. Now, do you want to win? Of course, everyone wants to win. Any athlete at the highest level wants to win. But it's specifically an American quality that, hey, some people love it, some people hate it. A lot of people hate it. But we expect to be the best. And in the NBA, largely American, we expect to win. And Giannis, listen, he just wanted to, he has a bigger and broader perspective when it comes to things like that. He's already won, so maybe if he hadn't already won at this point, his answer would have changed. But I thought it was just an interesting, and to have the face of the league, or one of the faces of the league, Curry, LeBron, obviously, but maybe the future face of the league once those guys are phased out, Giannis answered the question like that. I thought it was interesting. You needed to play that as the Milwaukee Bucks get ousted in the first round. 128-126 the final there is the Miami Heat. And Jimmy Buckets, my goodness, this guy, is he going to make the Hall of Fame just on his playoff performances alone? Because he just turns into a Hall of Famer whenever the playoffs come around. It's unbelievable. Jimmy Butler. Like, where is this during the regular season? We don't see this. We don't see this Jimmy Buckets. He's like, I only play it when it matters, man. Turn it on. Maybe he's just sleepwalking through the regular season. He's doing his own version of load management. Then once the playoffs come around, he just turns into one of the greatest players of all time. It's pretty unbelievable. Bop It Master 19. Bop it. Give myself a 2 there. He says on the YouTube chat, I bet if Luka was asked the same question, he would say different. No, I'm not comparing. I'm not saying all Europeans and stuff like that are going to answer it the same way. People from different countries and whatnot. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's a very unique American mindset about winning all the freaking time. Giannis said, hey, I don't view the season as a failure just because we didn't win it all. Some people, you can ask Steph, he'll probably say this season is a failure because they didn't win it all. Now, context matters like that. If they get bounced in the second round, or hell, if they lose in this first round still. Like, he would probably say the season was a failure because you know what? They were defending champs. And if you couldn't get out of the first round, yeah, after all that and this tumultuous season, a punch to the face, James Wiseman getting traded, animosity, the Wiggins drama, all that, yeah, you could probably say the season was a failure. But if Stephen Curry, went in his postgame and said it wasn't, well, I'm sure that would actually be an interesting topic here on 95.7 The Game, whether or not that Warriors season was a failure. I know Stephen Curry's the guy for a lot of you, and him saying that would actually probably be very, very interesting. But Giannis, Milwaukee, that market's different. He's already brought them a championship. He could do no wrong there. 888-957-9570. We're going to continue to take your calls and texts. Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube. You guys are all on fire. Twitch. Appreciate all of y'all streaming us that way via the Odyssey app as well. Be sure to download that bad boy. Warriors take out the Kings 123-116. They lead the series 3-2 and come back to the Chase Center tomorrow for a 5 o'clock tip-off. 5 o'clock. Interesting. Now, that was predicated on the Memphis Grizzlies extending their series and taking out the Los Angeles Lakers yesterday to force a Game 6 back in Los Angeles. So the Lakers are going to have the late game tomorrow. They're going to look to close that series out after a no-show from LeBron yesterday. Just a disappointing effort. It was a 1-point game with a couple minutes left in that third quarter, and then Darvin Scam, as I'm calling him these days, not Darvin Ham, taking out Anthony Davis for the last few minutes. Take out your best player on offense and defense. Looks what happens. Grizzlies going like a 13-0 run, and they run away with that. So they extend it to a 6th game. Lakers taking on the Grizzlies tomorrow, and then the Warriors taking on the Kings at 5 o'clock. 888-957-957 is the number. Come on back. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
The all-new Nissan Ariya is a fully loaded EV. It's brimming.
Welcome back. Pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Warriors 123, Kings 116. Draymond Green, 21 points. Kevon Looney, 22 boards. You kidding me? Klay Thompson, 25. Steph Curry, 31. Ho-hum. Wiggins, 20 points. Just doing what he does. Jordan Poole adds in 10. Gary Payton II, 8 points. 6 boards, 2 steals. These guys were active. They were feisty. Probably shouldn't even been as close as it was in the last minute. It was, though. Hey, I give the Sacramento Kings credit. They are not making it easy on this team. And I said it before this series started. And as it has gone along at 888-957-9570, if you want to get involved in the conversation, Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube, Twitch. Hello, how you doing? We're streaming there. Chime in as well. But I said it before the series. This potentially, and I was telling Joe Shasky of the Cross Jover, he will join me in about 12 minutes or so, as he does each and every day, Monday through Friday, at 5:45 a.m. Joe Shasky of the Morning Roast joining me. I told him, I was like, Joe, is it possible that this first round series against the Kings is the hardest one they play in the Western Conference? And he was like, if they play the Suns or something like that. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. If they play the Lakers, maybe. But I just thought that the reacclimation of Andrew Wiggins would take some time. This Kings team is hungry. They're feisty. They're young. They're fast. De'Aaron Fox is a beast. Sabonis, he's an all-star. He's going to give us problems, right? And as it's gone on, it's been very difficult, but not in the way I thought. Wiggins has reacclimated beautifully. The Warriors have been playing damn good offense. It's the Kings who have just been answering the punch every single time that I didn't expect. I thought if the Warriors were going to look like this offensively, the Kings would just fold. I thought they would absolutely just fold under the pressure. You know what? No one would, poo-poo on them. They had a great season. It's a playoff drought that was finally extinguished. You know what? Congratulations, Kings. You just ran up against the four-time champion and looking to defend their championship, the Golden State Warriors. You just ran into a buzzsaw. It's fine. It happens. But no. They've been lockstep with them every single way in every single game. And that's why, although I do think the Warriors will win tomorrow, it's not a lock. Like I'm not, if I'm betting on it, I'm not feeling great. I'll probably do a player prop instead. I feel great about Stephen Curry's chances about dropping more than 30 points. Maybe look into that. Maybe someone off the bench at home that you don't expect to score some more. Donnie DiVincenzo, by the way, just not his great. If we're just going to talk a little bit of negative and a positive win. Not a great night for him. He's kind of just not had a great series. But that's why you traded for a guy like Gary Payton II. Like, I know the James Wiseman trade was much maligned, and we'll still see how that's going to go out moving forward. But for now, Gary Payton II has looked pretty damn good. And last night, that was definitely his best game back since being in a Golden State Warriors uniform. 888-957-9570. Han Solo Dolo. Warriors only lost because the refs have been saving the Lakers since All-Star break. They were flopping on all of our screens, and the refs were calling it. Don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you meant the Kings there. From No Cap. No Cap is back? No Cap's in the chat, Sam Lubman? Let's go. No Cap. No other teams left will shoot like the Kings. I love our chances going forward. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Nuggets and Suns series is fascinating. Because I don't think the Suns, I was about to call them the Kendrick Nuns for some reason, but I don't think the Suns were playing that well against the Clippers. And that was against a Kawhi-less and Paul George-less Clippers team for the most part. And Russell Westbrook led, and by the way, Russell Westbrook, some of just putrid final games with him in a Clippers uniform. My goodness. Just some awful, awful offensive nights for him. But the Suns didn't look good against them. How will they look against the number 1 seed Denver Nuggets, a much more polished and ready team in that altitude? It's going to be interesting. I think that has the potential to go 7 games. So I'm not trying to look too far ahead for the Golden State Warriors. They got to finish their business, handle things at Chase Center tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Be there or be square. We'll have all that coverage leading up to the game, starting with Warriors Live at 4 o'clock with John Dickinson. But I feel pretty damn good about my chances in the West and going back to an NBA Finals if they handle things in this first round. That's all I have to say. Grizzlies, Lakers, I love the Warriors' chances against either of those teams for different reasons. And If it's the Suns, it's going to be a tough battle, but I think this first-round series is just what the doctor ordered for the Golden State Warriors. 888-957-9570 is the number. I'm fired up, man. I'm absolutely fired up over that win. This series has been awesome. The weekend's coming. Payday Friday tomorrow. Warriors, Kings, Game 6 tomorrow. Thursdays, this is why I love Thursdays. It's the opposite of a Sunday scary. It's like a thirsty Thursday. I don't know what everyone calls it that, but whatever you want. I'm excited. I'm thirsting for a Payday Friday, for a Phil Collins Friday tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Going down to the Shire, a.k.a. Monterey Bay. Can't wait. Brother-in-law turned 40. We're going to go out, have a good time, so that should be fun. Here's more sound reaction. Stephen Curry, I'm talking about playing the entire fourth quarter and his conditioning.
It's built on years and years and years of work. The constant, cycle of off-season work that you put in so that you're ready for this time of the year and that you can sustain that level of cardio and intensity. And I really pride myself on it. Yes, sir! It's my superpower out here because I'm not the most athletic or, the fastest and all that. I just got to be able to run the longest.
That's his superpower. That's actually an ode to his book. He has a superpower book, a children's book, and young Benjamin and I read it not every night, but we read it about once a week. He likes it. My heart is my superpower, so it's not being the biggest or the fastest, but wanting it more than other people. And it's pretty damn cool. It's inspiring, and I love it. Benjamin, I don't think you're going to grow up to be 6'3". You get 6 foot. He's got a shot. I'm not poo-pooing his dreams or anything like that. Steph might not think he's the biggest, but you're still 6'3", my guy. Those 5'10" and 5'11" boys like your boy right here, we envy that. 4 inches more, makes a big difference. Go ahead and cut that one. 888-957-9570. More from Steph on Looney, Kevon Looney, rebounding. And I see Marianne there in Vallejo in a second. I'm going to play this clip and get right to you. Kevon Looney rebounding and his hands having a quote-unquote magnet.
It's a luxury to have. I mean, his hands has a magnet connected to the ball. We say the word, he's relentless. He finds, the angles. And he's pretty sure-handed once he gets it to find the open guy. So it was a big effort on his part. Second 20-rebound game of the series. I think, that gives us such good momentum and allows us to have extra possessions, and it's huge for us.
Huge. Kevon Looney, once again, just putting the team on his back on the rebounding, and just 22 rebounds, 7 offensive. I don't care about the 4 points. Guy's been a baller. Marianne Vallejo wants to chime in on the pregame show. What's up, Marianne? How you doing?
Good morning to you guys. I love listening to you. I just wanted to say I lost my voice because of last night. Warriors really are Warriors, and I'm so proud of them, so proud of Looney, so proud of everyone. And the refs were not calling it fair last night. That Fox should have been teed up on that, but they didn't. The refs looked away. We were looking at a lot of things, and they really were trying to kill play because giving him 5 fouls, that was so wrong. We've seen a lot. And I don't know why the refs are not being called out on this.
Gotcha. Thanks, Marianne. Appreciate you chiming in on the pregame show. Yeah, listen, the refs, it is what it is. They're not going to be the best. You won the game. That's at the end of the day. When you win the game, I'm not going to go, just berating the refs and stuff like that. Were they bad? There was a bad calls? Yeah, sure. There's bad calls. You won the game. That's how I always look at it. It's loser speak to me when you lose a game and you blame the refs, or even if you win and start blaming the referees. I get it. It's part of the game, stuff like that. It's part of the, gamesmanship after it, talking about that during a series. But you won it. You got a chance at home where calls are more favorable for the Golden State Warriors. Wrap it up tomorrow. Move on to the next one. Not worrying about that. Before we hit the break here, Benjamin's in Valley Joe. What's up, Benjamin?
What's going on, bro? Good morning. Hey, real quick, this team is frustrating as hell sometimes, but you get glimpses of the old Warriors. They'll play defense for 4 or 5 possessions. They get good shots. They're making shots, but more importantly, they get rebounds. They push it out, and they lead the fast breaks, and they get it going. So go Warriors. Best day of the weeks are Thursdays because tomorrow's Friday, and then there's the weekend. God bless y'all.
Let's go. I totally agree, Benjamin. Thursdays, very underrated, especially like when you're in high school or something like that. College, it's like, oh, tomorrow's Friday. Let's go. We're partying, baby. 888-957-9570. Will the Warriors be partying tomorrow? They have a chance to wrap up this first-round series. They lead 3-2 now after a 123-116 victory over the Sacramento Kings. We're going to talk about that next on the Crossover with Joe Shasky right here on the pregame show, 95.7 The Game.
Since first opening its doors in 1964, Fremont Bank has approached banking with a simple idea in mind. Growth comes one customer at a time.
Little feel-good ink on the pregame show. Feeling good about that Golden State Warriors win, 123-116 over the Sacramento Kings. Draymond Green, 21 points off the bench. Looney, 22 boards, 7 offensive. Wiggins, 20. Steph, 31. Clay, 25. It's just Gary Payton, 8. This team, man, I'm telling you, this might be, as Joe Shasky joins me now, for the crossover. Joe Shasky, the morning roast, of course. He's locked in. He's wearing his city hat. He was decked out in his Warriors gear. It's just toasty in here. He's got to take it off. I was going to wear all my Raider stuff today. Then I realized how hot it gets in here, and the black just didn't work. It's just too hot. So I went shorts, flip-flops, and a Backstreet Boys shirt instead. Still black.
I was looking at flip-flops the last couple days, so I am not a Croc guy.
No, I hate Crocs.
Why do you hate them?
I just think they're nerdy, and I don't like them.
I'm with you. I went
Could be comfortable, but
I went they're not the leather Birkenstocks, but I got the other ones, and I'm telling you, they feel great on your feet.
Oh, they're great. They've formed to your feet, right? Jade has a bunch of them.
Yes, and when you have plantar fasciitis issues like myself, they actually help.
You have plantar fasciitis? Oh, that's right, you do.
Yeah.
Shout out Pau Gasol.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like him.
So anyway, point being is I was trying out different kinds of sandals and things like that. I don't like the old school sandal where it goes in between the toes.
Totally. No. Oh, no. You don't like these ones?
No. So I'm gonna go try to get either a really nice new pair of Crocs that are like not the Crocky Crocs, more like the flip-floppy Crocs. But today's not the day for that.
No.
I apologize.
No. You're good because I love sandal talk here on the pregame show. But I was totally like that when I was younger too. Like I just couldn't, like my feet feel weird on them. I didn't like walking. And then I'm just never going back. Like I just started doing it for a summer. It's like, you know what? This is comfortable.
So you're here.
I don't have to put on socks and shoes in the morning. It's going to be nice and hot. In Oakland, where I live too, in the near the hills, it's like 70 to 75, like all through the summer. So it's just like I'm not wearing shoes most of the time.
You get a 10 to 20 degree difference.
It's a way different. Then I come in here and then I'm only in the building and then I get back in my car. So it's not that big of a difference. Yeah. Joe Shasky. What if I told you, and I told you at the start of this.
What if I told you
that this series with the Sacramento Kings, and I said it at the start before it even started for different reasons. This is going to be the hardest series that the Golden State Warriors play in the Western Conference. Would you think I'm crazy after what we've seen up to this point?
I mean, crazy, no. But at the same time, like, we got to finish this series out.
We got it. Maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions.
I feel like
like I am. I just feel so damn confident in this team coming back to Chase Center where they have played like a championship team all year long. And listen, Draymond Green, he's got to just start coming off the bench now at this point, right? Like that's... Maybe it changes whether you play the Grizzlies or the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers don't really score as well as this Kings team, obviously, so maybe it's a little different. But my God, 21 points. That looked like vintage Draymond Green. Like it feels like he used to do this a lot more in the past, and we just accepted the fact that he's going to be 10 points or less these last couple of years. But that was a vintage Dre performance, and it was desperately needed.
Well, offensively, it'll probably get the headlines, but what about the 2 or 3 steals down the stretch in the final couple minutes?
Totally.
Just absolutely outstanding when it comes to absolutely incredible, in the words of Draymond in his own podcast.
It's incredible.
I mean, he was unbelievable.
Quite frankly.
When he hit the little fadeaway, like whatever it was, 6-footer, I was like, let's go. Then he hit the corner 3, and he's doing like the... whatever that thing is that he does with his hands as he's pointing downward.
Yeah, he's doing some weird...
I don't even know what it is, but it was like I was losing my mind. And then the degree of difficulty on the Klay Thompson shot from the corner, which was unbelievable, and then the Wiggins 2-pointer. Look, their execution down the stretch was not good. Steph couldn't buy a 3-pointer.
No.
Right? And we obviously, Steph, amazing. I thought it was like a B- Steph game. Am I being mean?
And then you look at the box score, it's just like,
I know.
From beyond the arc, 2 of 10, it's horrible for Steph Curry, but he drove to the rack.
No doubt. No doubt.
But you saw that emphasis early, and that's what we talked about yesterday. On Final Thoughts, I was like, I want to see Wiggins driving to the rack.
Yeah.
I want to see this team driving to the rack, and that's going to be the difference. And ultimately, that's what it was, because there's no interior defense on this Kings team. Sabonis, he ain't giving you anything. Alex Len, God bless him. Come on.
There's 2 people whose respect I've increased in terms of watching. Like I really like Keegan Murray. He's a rook though. Like he's got a ways to go. And I thought he was impressive for early on in that game. And then I don't know what happened with the hand, but he wasn't as effective. Herter obviously went out. Davion Mitchell, I like him a lot. Now he's a bench player. He's a role player. He's not a starter, but I really like him. Like my respect level for him has gone up, not down. Malik Monk is a good player. he gets a lot of calls.
He does.
I mean, he hangs in the air. His ability to finish around the rim is really good. Flawed, plays no defense. I'd want him on my team,
yes,
but in a 6th, 7th man role.
And that's what he is for the Kings.
No
yeah,
doubt,
absolutely.
no doubt.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox, obviously, stud. I think with the finger, because everyone's going to look at the shooting, I thought the handle wasn't as strong.
Yeah.
That, to me, was my big takeaway. His handle was a little looser.
6 turnovers for him.
Right?
Yeah, that definitely played a factor.
And then Klay Thompson, dude, just look, I know. I've said wild things regarding Klay Thompson because, like, there's certain nights where it just doesn't look good. And, and then there's days like yesterday where, like, I've wanted to rip apart this core 50 times because I love it so much and I want to keep winning and I want to maximize the Steph Curry and blah, 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 blah. You got to keep this core together. I mean, when Draymond plays like that, when Klay Thompson plays like that, they do this. That was a war daddy type of a game.
It was vintage. That's why I call it. It was like a vintage type of Warriors performance. It wasn't Steph, like you think about all those huge playoff runs and championships, Steph didn't have the greatest games in all of those. No. But you know what he did?
No.
He made timely and clutch shots a lot of the time. And it doesn't have to be 3-point. We love, and rightfully so, he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. He's the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. But even him, he knows if his shot's not going, he'll drive to the rack. That's what he's worked on throughout his entire career. And that's what separated, and then that's what early on in his career separated like Kyrie Irving, right? Like you looked at Kyrie, he had the shot, and he had the handle, and he had the ability to finish. Steph has all that now.
I know.
Like, I put him on that same tier as Kyrie, and Kyrie's hurt a lot now, obviously. The conditioning's not the same. But Kyrie, we always looked at, what was the difference? Oh, well, Kyrie can finish at the hoop. Steph does that tremendously.
How about the finger roll
Dude, he
layup?
did the sky hook.
Oh, I mean, that was
like,
so
are you kidding
sick.
me? Shaq called it. He's like, Kareem would have been proud of that.
I mean, he was incredible. And then the ability and I would say the patience and the awareness to keep dribbling in that situation where they were trying to ice the game out and then take a shot that's presented to you. A layup. It's wide open. And he takes it. I counted less than 10, oh my God, that's stupid, plays or shots from the Warriors. Now, were there more turnovers than that? There were. Like, there were a couple, like, Klay got hung up in the air and he went to go throw it to Looney on a couple of different plays. And those are frustrating, but, like, I'm not mad at that play, right? I watched Jordan Poole last night because I think lost in it. Jordan Poole was really good last night.
No, he was. The stats won't show up, but he was getting to the cup. He was doing his thing.
He was really good.
He had 6 assists. Like, that's the thing. The assist numbers were there.
How about his rebounding? Situational rebounding. His ability to double in certain spots. And look, the Warriors fouling, I thought they did foul in the fourth quarter. It went a little overboard for my liking in terms of the officials. Like when Harrison Barnes basically gets 10 points at the third quarter on the free throw line and keeps them in that game. But I love to me, the pivotal moment of the game. We're obviously going to go to the final 5 minutes, and that's crucial. No one's denying that. 2.5 minutes to go. Steve Kerr calls a timeout. They were oscillating. I believe it was a 2-point game at that point. And then, boom, they hit him with a barrage, and they closed the quarter with a 9-point little, like, flurry right then and there. And to me, that was the critical part in the game. And they did a play coming out of that timeout where they got a GP2 dunk. It was just brilliant. I mean, I thought Kerr, for the most part, was pretty damn brilliant yesterday.
And you know what? And Steve, and I've been talking about it on the pregame show. You know, we sleep on these head coaching matchups in the playoffs. Like in football, it's a big deal, right?
Yes.
You look at Bill Belichick versus, I don't know, like I said Josh McDaniels or something like that. They're playing each other in the playoffs. I'm going Bill Belichick. Of course. Inexperienced guys, you're going with the greatest of all time. And Kerr's up there. He's one of the greatest head coaches in the history of the NBA. And when these playoffs go on, yeah, I feel pretty damn good about his chances against a Taylor Jenkins or a Darvin
100%.
Ham or a Monty Williams has been there.
Joey.
Or a Mike Malone. Like, that matters.
He's got whatever it is, 90-something playoff wins. He has the highest, I couldn't believe when they showed it, the highest playoff winning percentage of all time.
That's crazy. When you go up against,
and we're not talking about 1 year.
No, that's like with Phil Jackson included. Obviously, Phil's done it with multiple teams and stuff like that. And Greg Popovich has been around a long time. But it's crazy that we sleep on Steve Kerr as the coaching aspect, because I know basketball is a different sport and it's a players driven, obviously, but coaches matter, man.
Phil Jackson matters.
Yeah, I Greg Popovich matters. Like him calling timeouts with quick runs, that stuff matters to your mindset, getting to your players. So Steve Kerr doing a hell of a job. Like this whole series, and for a team like the Kings, who kind of mirror the Warriors, like the young Warriors, right? And it mirrors them a lot.
And if you look at he really only went 7.5 deep last night.
Yes,
I mean he didn't have a lot of options. You know, GP2 was brilliant. Look, I think there's an argument. Maybe today's not the day. Maybe it's down the line. Maybe you need to see more evidence. There is an argument to be made. You don't win this game without GP2, and you're not getting through this series without GP2. And that alone makes it worth the Wiseman trade. There is an argument. I'm not ready to have that conversation today, but I'll listen to that.
Probably got to win a title. Like, that's what I'm thinking, because and then that way you're justifying everything. If you win a title, it always justifies any trade during that season.
Yes, I hear you. But you know what I mean? Like, GB2 was brilliant.
He was really good.
Diving around all over the place, contesting shots. Wiggins was brilliant. I thought Poole was really good. To me, the effort level from Poole on hustling to get rebounds, double teaming at proper times, couple of picks. I thought he was really, really good attacking the cup. And again, on the Steph Curry model of grading, it was like a B minus Steph Curry game.
On the Steph Curry game, but anyone else?
Clay picked him up, but Draymond picked him up, but Looney picked him up. Clay was unbelievable. Clay was unbelievable. And I just keep going back to, I can't break this core up. What was I thinking? Like, no, I'm serious. I feel so dumb because every time I'm ready to put a fork in him and close the casket door, like The Undertaker, Draymond puts his imprints on the final 6 minutes the way he did. Klay Thompson battling horrific foul trouble because of the horrible calls. The fifth foul. I mean, Malik Monk crashed into him, and Clay's laying on the ground like it's on me, and I felt Clay in that moment. And so Clay was carrying them offensively for a period. He has to go to the bench. He comes back in, and he hits that circus shot in the corner. Clay was unbelievable.
Real quick here, got about 30 seconds. I'm
just so fired up.
No. The road was a thing of the past now, right? They can win on the road.
It is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
They won another playoff game in a series.
It was incredible. Quite frankly.
I mean, and then Kevon Looney. Like, if one guy doesn't embody what it means to embrace a role on a team.
Dude, get him the statue. I already said it. We're going to get right in the middle of Thrive City, get the statue, the bronze. It's Kevon Looney climbing up. He's got a spray bottle and a rag cleaning the glass.
They're different players, but he's like a Robert Horry for this organization.
Sure. No, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not winning the way that you're winning without him.
And he's not Dennis Rodman, different players, but when you look at the stats, it's like 4 points, 7 assists, 22 rebounds. That's Dennis Rodman, right?
He's dominated Sabonis.
Dominated him.
I don't want to even hear this, Sabonis got X. No. He has dominated. Name me a situational rebound he didn't get.
That's Joe Shasky.
That's basketball.
And that's
in the playoffs.
And that's Joe Shasky. He's joining Bonte Hill next for the Morning Roast right here on 95.7 The Game. Warriors 123, Kings 116. They're looking to close it out tomorrow at Chase Center. Be there, be square, everybody.